took my health into my own hands, oh baby, I did. Welcome back to my channel. It is Krystal here. I know it has been so long since I've been on my channel. I miss you guys so much. I have so much to catch you guys up on. I don't even remember my intro, y'all. Like, we just gonna have to get into the video because I don't even remember my intro. But real quick, you guys, I want to shout out today's sponsor is Luisa. So guys, Luisa is currently having a 70% off sale until January 10th. All of their jewelry is high quality jewelry pieces at very affordable prices. Their packaging and products are carbon neutral, which is environmentally friendly, and they have unique designs which make you feel empowered and elegant. These are some of the pieces that I got my hands on to show you guys. So the first piece is a Oren ring. That's the name of the ring on their site. It's O-R-E-N. So beautiful, you guys. The next piece is their scarlet earring. These were probably one of my favorite pieces. They're currently on sale as well, just as all of these other pieces, but this was probably one of my favorites, as well as the other piece I'm about to show you guys, which is the letter K earring. Y'all already know how to get that for Chris. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you use my code KILLACHRIS20 for 20% off. Additional to the 70% off on their site right now. Make sure you go ahead and check them out. And this is their aura bracelet. So definitely go and check them out at analuisa.com and use my code and let them know that I sent you. Thank you for sponsoring this video. I'm going to be giving you guys a little life update since the last time I spoke to y'all back when I was in New York. Definitely subscribe if you have not already subscribed, you guys. I am literally 2K away from 100K. What's going on? We ain't get to 100K yet. I do have a giveaway announcement at the end of this video, so if you're interested, definitely stick around and stay tuned for that. But without any further ado, let's get into this video. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about a lot, okay? A lot has transpired since the last time I spoke to you guys, which I believe was back in August or September of last year. We are currently in the new year. It's 2023, and so many things have happened, and I just kind of want to give you guys a little life update. Talk to you guys about some journeys I've started and that I'm loving, you know, talk to you guys a little bit about my 2023, and then just, you know, kind of catch up and do our makeup, a little bit of girl chat. For the most part, I just kind of want to catch you guys up on what's been going on so that y'all are aware, because I know I've been MIA, but I promise you guys it's all for good reason. Alright y'all, so you know the first thing I love to do is put on my Grace & Company. By the way, it's not a plug-in, but I love my Grace & Company head wrap. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on before we even start any makeup or anything like that. Y'all, my hair has grown so much, y'all, look. It's crazy. Alright y'all, so now that we kind of got all that out the way, I want to go ahead and start my makeup. You guys already know it be taking me forever and a day to get my makeup started whenever I'm doing any of these chit chat get ready with me's. So you know I had to go ahead and write my notes. Okay, I am going to kind of go ahead and prime and just put my foundation on and all that, and then we could kind of start the chit chat. Okay, you guys, so I know I might look a little crazy right now, but that's only because I personally, if you know me, you've been following me for a minute, you know that I love my makeup, my foundation to be darker than my skin tone, because I always conceal and then it ends up just becoming my contour. If you know, you know. If you're OG, you know. But let's kind of get into this chit chat because we got a lot to talk about, okay? I kind of want to fix my lighting a little bit. It's looking a little off, but let me see. Today, I want to catch you guys up on so much that has been going on in my life. Since the last time I spoke to you guys, I was in New York and I had gotten a phone call basically letting me know that my mom was in the hospital down here. I got on a flight and I came back, and that was literally the end of my New York trip, which was totally fine because obviously I want to be there for my mom. That's more important. Like, I was kind of done with New York to be honest, because I was getting to that point where I wanted to come back home anyway, so it kind of worked out perfectly. But I ended up coming back here, and I was, here pretty much taking care of my mom. She was having, I don't want to get into her health concerns and issues and stuff like that, but she basically, needed assistance doing certain things. I was cooking for her and just helping her around the house and stuff like that until she was able to kind of like get better. Shortly after my mom got better and she ended up going to New York, I got sick. So it was just like, it felt like I was just in this whirlwind of physical attack. I couldn't understand why, and I couldn't understand like why me. But then I had to really sit and really ask myself, why not me? I was in a position to be able to help her, and in a position to be able to work from home, in a position to be able to do all the things that I normally would have been able to do, while still helping my mom. And that was something that I think I didn't realize how blessed I truly was and am, to be able to do that. So it completely shifted so many things in my life, because that situation made me do things a lot differently. That situation changed my mindset, changed the way that I ate, changed the way that I viewed a lot of things. Granted, I was always I wasn't always, eating bad, or I'm a pretty healthy eater, for the most part. There were things that I was ignoring that I needed to start implementing for myself, being a person who have anemia, who suffered from anemia, pretty much my whole life, always being cold, always having issues with, when it comes to temperature, being cold, being too hot, all the things. And I thought that was just a normal thing, anemia is just a normal thing, but I had to realize it wasn't, and that completely changed my whole life, y'all. For the month of September, September was a rough month for me. My cycle in August was rough, but my cycle in September was egregious. When I say I've never experienced a period where I was in a fetal position on the floor in pain, couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, crying, everything just felt like I was gonna die. I literally felt helpless, and it was one of the most eye-opening situations of my life. I need to put this concealer on, child. Let me go ahead and do that. But at the time, I'll say that when I was experiencing what I was experiencing, I didn't know what it was. I thought that I had a hernia, I thought that it could have been a hernia because I had a hernia prior in my life. When I was around 8 or 9 years old, I had a hernia. So I initially thought that, okay, so maybe this pain that I'm experiencing in my lower abdomen area is a hernia. So I kind of just was like, I'm gonna let my period go by before I go to the doctor, etc., etc. That didn't happen. On September 22nd, the pain started, and September 23rd, I was in the emergency room. Like, I couldn't take the pain. Ended up going to urgent care first. They gave me like this shot in my butt. I never had that before, so I was off rip, like, what the hell is it? Well, I went to urgent care. Like I said, they put a shot in my butt, and pretty much told me, like, yeah, we don't know what this is, but there was like a bulge in my lower right side of my stomach, and it was coming up on my stomach. Like, literally every morning I would wake up for like the maybe that past week, it was showing up. So I was like, why is this happening to me? Like, what is going on? And when I went to urgent care, they basically was just like, we don't know what this is. But when I say I was in pain, like, I was crying. Like, the lady, the doctor, she's a black doctor. She felt my pain. Okay, she knew if I was in there acting the way that I was really in pain. And not to like say that us black women, we have a higher tolerance for pain or anything, but that is kind of the stereotype, you know what I mean? But I knew she understood me. Like, I knew that when I was going through that, I knew that I wasn't alone, because she was so sweet. She was like, if you want to stay here for an hour and just lay down and take a nap, like, do whatever you want to do, because they ended up giving me the shot in my butt that allowed me to not feel the pain as sharp. So she was like, if you want to stay here and you want to just relax and you want to take some time to breathe, whatever you want to do, go ahead and do it. So that made me feel really, really good. And after about an hour or so, I ended up going to the actual hospital, to the ER, because they didn't have the right CAT scan, and basically they didn't have the right tools and stuff to like really detect what it was that I was experiencing. So I ended up going to the hospital, and once I got to the hospital, I don't know what was going on, but let me tell you something. God makes no mistakes, because when I tell you, when I got inside the hospital room, it was nobody in the ER, y'all. Like, when I say nobody, it was just me. It was like me and maybe, I'm exaggerating, but it was literally like 5 people there. And that's unheard of, especially during the whole pandemic. I'm not saying this happened during the pandemic, this happened last year, but people were still going to the hospital because of COVID. So I thought the hospital was going to be packed. I thought I wasn't going to be able to have any time, you know what I mean? And I went in there, and they ended up getting me a room within like the first 20 minutes. Praise God. Once I ended up in the room, the doctor, I want to say that it took about maybe 20 minutes for the doctor to come in. Also unheard of, depending on where you are. But where I am in Georgia, you guys, it's rural. So, I didn't expect the doctor to show up that quickly, because, like I said, because of the COVID, because of just everything that I already knew, that was going on in the hospitals, etc., etc. So I just didn't have no hope. But when I got into the room, I was like, okay, maybe they'll be able to see me quick enough. And that is exactly what happened. By the time I got a bed and everything, nurse assistant came in, and then he ended up taking my vitals and all that stuff. And he also ended up giving me a shot of morphine because the pain started coming back. That's how much pain I was in. Just to give you an idea, a depiction of the amount of pain I was in, he had to give me morphine. So I ended up getting the morphine, and it was intravenous too, so he injected in my veins. So it literally worked super quick. I want to say I had the pain at 7 o'clock, and then by 7:05 it was gone. So I was laying there. My friend Tari, she was with me. Thank God Tari was with me. Shout out to Tari. Shout out to you, girl. I love you so much. She was with me the whole time, and she stayed with me like literally the whole day. But yeah, so I ended up laying there, and then you know when the morphine kicks in, you get a little goofy, and like I was just like, you know, cracking jokes and like talking to the nurse and stuff. And then the doctor ended up coming in, and then I ended up going to do a CAT scan, and that's when I found out what it was. So when she came inside the room, well, when she brought me back to the room and she came back to read me my results, she explained to me that I was suffering really bad from fibroids. She wasn't able to really give me an answer, and pretty much just kind of told me like, yeah, like these are your options, you can go ahead, and she recommended that I just go to my OBGYN and get more of an understanding of my options. But the option that she gave me at the time was like, it was called uterine fibroid embolization, and it's called it's also known as UFE. And pretty much it's a non-surgical procedure where they place something in the vein that connects to your uterus, and it basically blocks off the blood supply that goes to the fibroid. And so I ended up booking an appointment with my OBGYN, and my OBGYN at the time was a new OBGYN, because you guys know I just moved to Georgia, so I don't have an established OBG. I don't have an established doctor as yet. So I ended up just finding and researching someone that I felt like would be a good candidate to go to get more of an explanation of what this is, where it's coming from, and what I can do about it. Okay, so I'm about to contour and kind of just finish telling you guys about this story, child, because this is not necessarily a story time. It is kind of a story time, but it's not. The whole video is not a story time. I just want to explain this part to you guys so you guys kind of get an idea of what's been going on. But yeah, so I ended up going to the doctor, and I had, let's say my hospitalization was the 23rd, right, of September. My doctor's appointment wasn't until October 11th, right? So just to kind of give you a timeline, you gotta get, so you can get a visual. So I ended up going to the doctor. I found this doctor online, and you know, she was a Black woman. She specialized in fibroids and all that. You know, I just want to go to somebody that I can personally feel comfortable with, not a knock to anyone else or anybody in any other race or anything like that, but I just personally feel like if you live my experience and you know these statistics, then you would be the perfect person to go to, right? Go here. So I ended up going to that doctor. Immediately when I got there, I felt defeated. The only option that she had for me was surgery. And I'm not a person who's big on surgery. I'm not a person who's really even big on doctors. I'm not. And you know, the first thing that she told me was like, you're gonna need to go on birth control. We're gonna need to suppress your periods. And once we do that, when you're ready to get pregnant, you can get off birth control, and then we can perform a C-section on you. And then once we perform the C-section on you, then we'll take the fibroids out. And when I tell you guys, I was just like, what? That's your only option for me? Didn't give me any grace, any compassion, anything, you know? I left that doctor's office in tears. When I got home, I ended up I took a salt bath because I just felt like the energy in there just wasn't right, and I just needed to wash the energy off of me. That is exactly what I did. And I got up the next day and I just started to research and look at other options. So I want to kind of track back a little bit from the time that I was hospitalized up until that day. I had been juicing, right? So every morning I would drink certain kinds of juices. At that point, I had already been like about 2 weeks in. I had spoken to a friend of mine, and he was just basically telling me like, you know, I think that your fibroids has to do with your anemia. And I was like, you think so? And so he gave me this product to get, and it was like it was a specific product. I ended up taking that product. And do you know that my cycle came back on October 19th, which was about 8 days after my appointment with that doctor, and October 19th, my cycle came on actually on the 18th. On the next day, this is probably maybe 2 weeks into juicing. At this point, it's 3 weeks into juicing. 3 weeks into juicing, maybe 3 days into taking this one product. Went to the bathroom and literally my fibroid fell out. Y'all, no lie, my fibroid fell out. I'm not gonna say all of them, but one of the main ones that was bothering me on my right abdomen, literally, I like just took a few deep breaths when I was in the bathroom, and I pressed a little bit on that area just to feel it. And when I looked out, you do know when you're using the bathroom and something like heavy drops in the toilet? That's literally how it sounded. I wasn't going number 2. I know it wasn't that. So I was like, what is this? And I looked down, and no lie, you guys, it was in the shape of a heart. It was in the shape of a heart. I can't make this shit up. 2 days later, on the 21st, 2 more came out. So I'm speechless, y'all. I'm still speechless. And this happened to me. I'm still speechless because, even when I was at the doctor's office and I told her, like, I've been juicing and I've been doing this and I've been doing that, she was like, honey, you can go and get a whole bag of spinach and fill up a shopping cart, and it still won't get rid of those fibroids. It still won't give you the amount of iron that you need. You need to go and get you some iron from the pharmacy. And I was like, oh, I think not. Okay, like, one thing I'll say this. I am not against doctors. I'm not against people who know what they're talking about. But when you go to a doctor and you get an opinion that you do not like, it is not for you to go and accept it and take it home with you and now believe it. It's not for you to do that. It is for you to take it, put it down, think about it, and go get another opinion. Go get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with a second opinion. I was my second opinion, though. I had to go and do the work. I had to go and research. I had to go and speak to friends. I had to go and reach out and see what resources I had for another option, because it felt like that was the only option for the doctor, for me to get surgery. And not just for me to get surgery, but for me to go on birth control. And then you want me to damage my uterus so that when I'm ready to get pregnant, by that time my uterus is destroyed and now I have to get a C-section? Or I probably couldn't even get pregnant? Child, this might not even need to go on the internet. I don't even know. This might be too much for y'all. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, because just never feel like you have to accept a person's opinion on you, no matter who it is, no matter how many degrees they have, no matter how many accolades they have, no matter any of that stuff. If you know in your heart and in your soul that what you're dealing with is something that you could probably fix yourself by changing your diet, then do that shit. And I do want to ask you guys if y'all are interested in me doing a full video, because I would love to do a full sit down video talking about that experience, and then also talking to you guys about the solution and the products and the things that I ended up taking and drinking to create an environment for the fibroids to want to leave, because that's essentially what I did. I created an environment inside of me where the fibroids did not want to be in anymore. They couldn't thrive anymore, so they had to leave. So if you're interested in that, let me know below. So yes, you guys, that was literally like what I was going through from like September all the way to October. And by the next period that I had in November, when I say no pain, actually the next period that I had in October was no pain. Like I absolutely zero pain. Zero pain there. And then by November it was zero pain. December is zero pain. And then now we're in January, and now I'm gonna finally see, like, okay, after 3 months, what's, what is gonna happen. I personally don't think much is gonna happen, because I've been pretty consistent with the things that I needed to take, or the things that I was taking prior. I'm still doing that now. Like, I'm still juicing, and I'm still taking that specific product that person told me about. So I am really just trying to stay as consistent as possible. I did kind of fall off a little bit, because I did start to kind of eat red meat a little bit here and there, but not as much as I was before. I am just so grateful that I was able to have like a normal period in October, November, December, and even the bleeding, like, it wasn't a lot. It was very minimal. We're back. I had to go ahead and put on my brows. As y'all know, the brows be taking a little while. So speaking of health, I also started to go to the chiropractor. When I say I took my health into my own hands, oh baby, I did. All of it. I went to the chiropractor, found me a chiropractor first, and then I found this particular chiropractor, I think it was through my insurance, and honestly, I have no complaints. My chiropractor is actually really funny. So I think that also helps, because he's like hilarious in his own way. Every time I go there, it's always fun and games, but he has definitely like allowed for the alignment, my spine to be like aligned, my neck to be aligned. There were things that was going on with my back I didn't know about, why I was having trouble sleeping, or trouble being able to like kind of like arch my back and like stuff like that. Girl, he told me I had something. It was something with the back. Oh God, what it was, but I was like, what? I got what? Y'all. But he fixed it. Okay, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And my chiropractor was actually the one who told me, hey, when I was actually growing up, I used to be a gymnast, and it was like a game or like a competition or something like that. He said that he had a competition. And it's not funny, actually. I don't know why I laughed, but it was just funny when he was telling me, because like you kind of have to visualize my chiropractor. Like, if you know him, then you know why I'm laughing. But he basically was just like, yeah, like when I was a gymnast, I broke like a few different bones in my body after a competition. And he said he went to the hospital, went to the doctor. They told him that he would need all these different surgeries. And then his dad took him to a chiropractor the next day. And within about a month or two, he was back in the gym. I don't need to explain much more, baby. The chiropractor, y'all, if you have not been to the chiropractor, call your insurance, see if they cover it, and take advantage of that, because a lot of times you don't get to know if your insurance even covers chiropractic or chiropractor care or whatever you want to call that. You don't even know, because you're so focused on like your regular patient, your primary care, or your gyno, or you know what I mean, the doctors that you kind of go to, but you're not really paying attention if they cover chiropractic care. So definitely I would suggest, if you have not already and you have been thinking about it, I got a friend of mine to start going, and my friend is who got me to start going, so I've just kind of been spreading the word anywhere I can, because that has literally changed everything. Like, now when I'm sitting down, you guys, it's almost like if I'm slouching, my body is forcing me to sit up straight. It hurts when I sit, like when I slouch, or when I'm like not sitting straight. So I love it. Alignment all 2023, baby. Okay, we doing physical alignment, spiritual alignment, mental alignment, all the alignment. Alright, you guys, so I literally just finished putting on my lashes. I'm using some wispy lashes. They're like super natural. And then I added a little bit of some lip liner, and I used a combination of like a few different lipsticks or whatever, lip glosses. But I'll link all of the products and stuff down below if you guys are interested. But I kind of wanted to wrap up this video with a little bit of just some other information and just some other updates for you guys. Like I was saying about the chiropractor, I felt it was so crazy because I really felt like I was getting myself aligned like physically, but it felt like everything in my life was just like aligning perfectly all around once I really started to pay attention to my health, and once I really started to pay attention to the things that just really didn't make me feel good, you know, hanging around the people that didn't make me feel good, you know, just aligning myself with people that reciprocate the energy that I give. Love, compassion, patience, gratitude, concern, accountability, just like the things that I value. I had to really start to make sure and really to vet the people that are coming in my life, because you know, I had an experience where someone really deceived me in the past year, and I just can't allow that to happen to me again, because people can really show up in your life like they are everything you want and need and more, and they are completely acting and completely faking it, you know. So I'm just on a different frequency this year. Like this year, I'm only doing things that make me feel good. Let me not even say that, because that even sounds crazy. I'm only aligning with myself with people who reciprocate the same energy that I give. I'm not matching energy. I'm going to be over here cultivating my energy, cultivating my space, cultivating my own peace. And, you know, you're able to look at it, you know what I'm saying, and see if that's something you want to be a part of, but you're not going to come and disrupt it. You know, if you're not going to add to it, then you got to go. So that's kind of just been my mindset, whether it comes with friendships, whether it comes from friendships, whether it comes from relationships, whatever. Like, I'm just like, you have to be able to reciprocate, and if you can't do that, then you gotta go. And kind of to wrap up this video, you know, shout out again to our sponsor, Luisa. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video. And, you know, kind of circling it kind of back around to my sponsor, jewelry has definitely been something that I've been like using to make sure like I'm sitting and resting and expressing in my feminine, and jewelry has been a way for me to be able to do that, like making sure that when I get dressed, like I'm not just getting dressed, I'm not just doing my makeup, I'm not just getting my clothes, but I'm getting my nice jewelry on, my nice Luisa on, and you know, other jewelry and stuff like that, just to make me feel exactly how I feel inside, right? To express myself exactly how I'm feeling inside. Like, I want to adorn my body, I want to adorn myself, and I feel like that's just a great way for any woman, any man too, like to really be able to step into their expression of their feminine and to adorn themselves with jewelry. Like, I think that's such a just thing that I don't even understand. Like, I don't even understand, like, where have I been? Where have I been? I've always loved jewelry, but I think that I kind of like took a step back because I was so focused on, like, you know, so focused on all the other things that I wasn't really putting enough emphasis on that. But like, shout out to manifestation, because I said to myself, like, I want to work with a jewelry brand that I love. I want to work with a jewelry brand that I genuinely wear their stuff. And I was able to do that last year, and now they're reaching back out to work with me again. So shout out to you guys, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to get any sponsorships, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff. So I just want to shout out to you guys, but then also I want to shout out to our sponsor. Definitely check them out at analuisa.com. And definitely use my code, you guys, KillaChris20% off on your next purchase. Alright, you guys, so I am so happy that I was able to do this video for you guys, because it's been such a long time since I have sat down, did a little chit chat, get ready with me, and then also give you guys an update on what's been going on. This is a major update. I know I kind of like put a lot in this video, but I don't know, I just felt like I needed to kind of catch you guys up from the last time we spoke. And you know, since then, a lot has transpired. So, you know, I just want to say gratitude and just praise God for allowing me to get through 2022. You know, like, if you haven't already done that, like, and I'm sure you probably have, but really just sit and reflect on your 2022 and just think about the amount of tribulations that could have taken you down, the amount of things that could have bogged down your energy to the point where you didn't want to get back up. A lot of things that had probably discouraged you, you know, things that made you lose motivation, inspiration, like all of those things. Just think about all of the things that you were able to persevere through, and now you are in 2023 on the other side, thriving, not surviving, thriving. Be grateful, be thankful, and show your gratitude, because that's the only way you're going to be able to receive the blessings and the abundance that you deserve. So I'll say that. Last but not least, I did want to also just mention to you guys that I am going to be hosting a giveaway. Well, I'm hosting a giveaway right now. It's on my Instagram page. If you haven't already followed me on Instagram, make sure you do that at Killas. The giveaway ends on January 31st, so make sure you enter before then, you guys. I have a post on my Instagram. I'm going to show you guys right here exactly which post that you need to be doing the instructions under. Alright, you guys, I'll see you guys again in my next video. Thank you guys again for watching, and I love you guys so much. Bye, you guys.